Have you ever found yourself just wondering, am I on track? Am I doing okay with my savings? It is without a doubt one of the biggest money questions we ask ourselves. So today we're going to cut through all the noise and give you some clear age-based benchmarks so you can see exactly where you stand. All right, let's get into it.
So let's just jump right in, shall we? How much money should you have saved at this exact moment? It's such a simple question, right? But the answer, well, that can feel incredibly complicated. Don't worry, we're going to break it all down decade by decade.
But first, to kind of set the stage, let's look at where we're all headed. This number right here, $409,000. Let that sink in. That is the median net worth for American households between 65 and 74. Now, for some of you, that might sound like a lot. For others, it might seem terrifyingly low. But this is the reality, and it just goes to show how critical it is to have a solid plan.
Okay, before we go any further, let's make sure we're all speaking the same language here. When we talk about these big numbers, we're talking about your net worth. It's a really simple formula. You just take everything you own that has value, your savings, your investments, maybe your car, and you subtract everything you owe, like student loans or that nagging credit card debt. That's it. It's the ultimate snapshot of your financial health.
All right, let's start at the very beginning, your 20s. I want you to think of this decade as laying the concrete foundation for the entire financial house you're going to build for the rest of your life. Honestly, the habits you form right now are way more important than the exact dollar amount in your bank account.
So, the data shows that the median net worth for people between 25 and 34 is about $39,000. But here's what's really important about this slide. The number itself isn't the point. The real goal in your 20s isn't hitting some magic number. It's about building the habit of saving. That discipline, that consistency, that is the real asset you're building. So, how do you build that habit? It's actually simpler than it sounds. Try to save about 10 to 15% of your take-home pay. If that feels totally overwhelming, just start with 5%. The most crucial part is just being consistent. And please, I am begging you, if your job offers a 401k match, you have to contribute enough to get all of it. It's free money. It's literally a 100% return on your investment, guaranteed. You will never, ever find a better deal than that.
Okay, let's move into the next phase. Welcome to your 30s and 40s. So if your 20s were about pouring that foundation, this is when you start putting up the walls and framing the house. This is where your financial progress can really start to take off.
By the time you hit that 35 to 44 age range, you can see the median net worth jumps up to $135,000. So the focus kind of shifts now from just building the habit to hitting specific targets that are based on your income. We're talking about salary multiples. And this gives you a great picture of what those targets look like. The general rule of thumb is to have 1 times your annual salary saved by the time you're 30. And then it really starts to ramp up. 3 times by age 40, 4 times by 45, and then a pretty big jump to 6 times by age 50. Now look, these are just guideposts, but they give you a really clear target to aim for. Now, what's the one thing that can completely derail you during these years? It's this monster right here, lifestyle inflation. It's that supernatural, sneaky tendency to just spend more money as you make more money. The secret to building real wealth is to consciously decide to grow your savings rate even faster than your lifestyle. And here's another wealth killer hiding in plain sight: fees. Just look at this. A pretty typical 1% fee on a $500,000 portfolio costs you $5,000 a year, every year. But a low-cost index fund? $150. Over a few decades, that difference is absolutely massive. So do yourself a favor. Check your expense ratios. Keeping those low is one of the easiest wins you can get. Okay, onto your 50s. This decade is so critical. For many people, this is your peak earning period, and it's really your last best opportunity to catch up if you've fallen behind or to just turbocharge your savings before you hit retirement. Yeah, the goals get a little more aggressive here. You're aiming for 7 times your salary by age 55 and 8 times by the time you hit 60. And really, your 50s are probably your last chance to get a significant bump in your income. If you've been thinking about asking for that raise or going for that promotion, now is absolutely the time. And the IRS actually gives you a pretty cool advantage in this decade. They're called catch-up contributions. As soon as you turn 50, you can put an extra $8,500 into your 401k every single year. And then from ages 60 to 63, there's even a super catch-up that lets you add an extra $11,750. These higher limits are literally designed to help you power up your savings right at the end.
But of course, life is not a straight line. Lots of people don't reach these goals, and it's usually because of a few common hurdles. I think just understanding what these pitfalls are is the first step to making sure you can avoid them. So let's just run through them. First, financial illiteracy. Just not understanding the basics, which makes people feel overwhelmed, so they do nothing. Second, procrastination, which is the true enemy of compound growth. I mean, every year you wait costs you exponentially down the line. Third, high interest debt. That's like trying to run up a down escalator. It's actively working against you. We've talked about lifestyle inflation. Then, of course, there are the curveballs life throws at us. Sickness, divorce, things that can wreck even the best plans. And finally, inflation. That silent tax that just eats away at the value of your cash every single day. So now, let's bring it all home. We are at the finish line, your 60s and beyond. The focus here totally shifts. It's less about growing your wealth and more about preserving it. And most importantly, making sure it lasts for the rest of your life.
So what's the final benchmark? The big goal is a portfolio that's about 10 times the size of your final salary. So if you're making $100,000 in your last few years of work, you should be aiming for a $1 million portfolio to support yourself in retirement. Now, this slide is fascinating because it shows one of the most powerful levers you can pull in retirement. If you claim Social Security early at 62, you permanently cut your benefit by 30%. But if you can hold out until age 70, you get a 24% boost. Think about it this way. Every year you wait past your full retirement age is like getting a guaranteed 8% return on your money. You can't find that anywhere else.
And here is a strategy that is so powerful but so often overlooked: Roth accounts. With a traditional 401k, you get a tax break now, but you pay taxes when you take the money out. With a Roth, it's the other way around. You pay the taxes now, which means every single dollar you withdraw in retirement is completely 100% tax-free. Over a 20 or 30-year retirement, the tax savings can be absolutely huge.
So when you boil it all down, financial success isn't really some big secret. It just comes down to these core principles. Spend less than you make. Save consistently. Bump up that savings rate over time. Invest smart in low-cost accounts. And then, the most important ingredient of all, just give it time. Let the magic of compounding do its thing.
At the end of the day, all the benchmarks and all the strategies we've talked about, they're just a map. Your journey is totally unique. So the final question isn't for me, it's for you. Are you on the right path?